Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 431 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for September 30th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Going on is that the O's, baby. The O's are the American League East Division champs, man.
Yeah.
It's been 9 years. It's been since 2014 since we were last division champs. And it's been since 2016 since we've been to the playoffs. So, man, it's been a while, man. And it's not like it's been, some teams might be a while till they get to the playoffs. Like they may have they have some years in between that they miss. But the years we had in between, it's been some bad years, man. I mean, like you're talking about 100+ losses type of years. Mm-hmm. And it's really bad because you had players that you let go to other teams, like Machado, who I just thought we just were never going to really recover, like from that, like in no kind of way, like, and definitely not in this kind of win where we went 100+, when we win 100 games at least. We had 100 games as of right now, and then we did like the one good thing from that trade I know of is Dean Kramer, a pitcher who's pitched really well for us. So that did work out eventually. I just don't think, like, hey, this is a great year. I'm hoping we can win it all. Like, just take it all this year. But I don't want this to be a recipe for success that you have to go through like fucking 7 years of fucking just freaking bottom of the barrel freaking team, bottom feeders, and just like you had to build up. Like that shouldn't be. Like you should be just still like at least competitive, like somewhat competitive, and still build upon that. I mean, we won the best. People are calling this like the best division in sports, period, because of how well all the teams are in this division. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Red Sox are below 500. They're the only team below 500. Yankees they won 81 games as of today. So it's like everybody in the division is good. I mean, even the Red Sox, they're not horrible. Like they like probably if you take away some of the losses they lost within the division, they're probably pretty good outside of the division. They have players too. Like they have pitchers and they have playmakers on their team. Because they're all the Red Sox. They just I don't know what exactly like all year like what happened. Though they have given up the people they gave up over the years since they won the World Series, the last time they won, those guys have been killing. So I don't know what the hell their plans were. Like Mookie Betts is killing on the Dodgers. Martinez, another player that was on the Red Sox, is on the Dodgers. I don't know maybe the Dodgers and Red Sox had made a deal or something. I don't know. They said we're going to just take some of your good players and help us out. But yeah, it's been a great season. Been following the team all season, and now we actually get the bye. I mean, yeah, I did not have us definitely winning the division. I definitely didn't have us doing that. Like I was just hoping for better than last year, which we had a good year last year. Like that we would probably sneak in as a wild card. That's what I was hoping. It's like we sneak in as a wild card. We're fighting for that wild card spot, and we sneak in. I did not expect like we would win 100 damn games and be the best team in the American League as of the regular season. Like that's crazy. And as of right now, we're the second best in record in the whole league. Yeah, I mean, for this team to go from what they were 2 years ago, like it's amazing. And they have not been swept. Like this team has not been swept in a series since last year of May.
Wow.
Like that's crazy. Like even the great teams get swept every now and then. Like they're on the only two teams in the history of baseball that have done better than that. Like they're whatever streak they're on now, they're on 80-something game series, whatever. Only teams that done better than that, they're like old teams, man. Like I think one of them is in the 40s maybe, and another team is like before that. So yeah, this is a special team, man, and this is like the anniversary of the 1983 World Series, 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that means something. That means something big's going to happen. Oh, and on a sadder note, Brooks Robinson, famous Oriole player, passed away at I think it was 86.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he passed away, man. Man, he lived a full life. He definitely before our time, but heard a lot of stories about him. How great a player he was. So, and then they got the statue out there of him, like with some other greats. I know Jim Palmer talked. A lot of players talked, like old players talked about him. Cal Ripken, Billy Ripken. Who else I see? I know. Watching the broadcast, you see that and everything. Yeah, all of baseball is like mourning that loss of a guy. But yeah, he was one of those guys like before Cal, like he was like the Mr. Oriole basically. But for me, because since he was before my time, it was Cal. I mean, I heard of Brooke, but no. But hey, actually, Hex Brooks is he named after Brooks Robinson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because they said that a lot of people named their kids after Brooks Robinson, and I was like, you know what? I do know a Brooks, and he is white. Now, if he was black, I would know that. He's not named after Brooks Robinson. I mean, no offense to Brooks. I'm just saying we ain't. I don't know many black people that name their people after white people. I just don't know that. But anyway, yeah. See, and there you go. But yeah, man, that guy is. I mean, yeah, it was a sad day. But 86, man. I mean, he lived a full life. That's a great life. Even though you see those people at 90 or something, and 100. So maybe not. Maybe that's too young.
We don't talk about those people.
All right. So what else we got? In baseball, I mean, everything's still not set. There's still people fighting in these last 3 games. 2 games. I'm sorry. As of today. Well, it might be 3 because technically there was a rain out. And during the Mets game because of what the fuck is going up in New York.
Yeah, I was just looking
like
at
with
that.
the flooding. Like, good God, man. I mean, during they got some freaking Noah's Ark situation going up there. But so if the Marlins, if they need to play that game, they will play it on Monday. But that's an if. That's if like a situation happens because the Marlins are technically we're still in it in the playoffs. So I guess if certain teams lose. And if they keep winning, they'll have to play that game before they can decide if they're going to be in the playoffs or not. But it's funny that the Marlins Twitter page, they had changed their like description or something. Like it says it says we have a roof. They talk about like saying basically
Yikes.
How the Mets should have had a roof. Which is that's an argument that some people make is that especially ballparks that are built after a certain year, which the New York Yankees and the Mets, they built their new ballparks in around 2008, I want to say.
Yeah.
The ballparks they have now, they were both the same year. That like why are you building ballparks without a roof? That's what some people are saying, and especially since hey, those are rich franchises. It's like you can afford it.
It definitely seems kind of silly because, yeah, you have a roof and all of a sudden you don't have to worry about the conditions.
Yeah, and then, Yankees will argue, the Mets can't really argue because they're a younger team. The Yankees will argue is that because of tradition and like they're a traditional team and baseballs didn't have roofs. Like they don't have names
back in my day, we didn't have roofs. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, we ain't have black people playing on the field. Or Mexicans.
That changed.
But no, yeah. But you know what? I say that, Bill. I know they still live by that, and even back then, they didn't know that this was coming. Oh, they probably did. No, it's coming. That they're going to have advertisement on their jerseys because that's what they do now, and that's what somebody says. Like you might as well put the names back on the back of your jerseys. Then
they've got advertising on jerseys now.
Yeah. On the sleeves.
Oh, wow.
Not everybody that has it, though. Because the Orioles don't. The Orioles don't have one yet. Only because they're probably still bitten. Find a person who's willing to pay. Like, they're looking for a high pay. But not everybody does. But Yankees do. I forgot who it was, but like somebody says, if you're going to do that and be like all traditional, like, oh, we don't got names on the back of our jerseys, you might as well put names on the back of your jerseys now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know there's few teams that do it for their home teams. Like, I know the Red Sox do it for their home team. They don't have names, only on away teams, which I can live with that, even though I still want it, because watch on TV, I don't know you. But
yeah.
But like if the games were meant, like if this is like back in the day where you don't see everything on TV, then the only way I can see the team is if I go to the games, then yes, that's nice that the away team has a name because I'm not going to know you.
Right.
But
and I want to call out to you and say nasty shit to you.
Now, I mean, I guess people argue too, is that you can look it up, but it's like that's too much work. When I can just look on TV and just see the name. Like, just put the name. It's like, is it really that big a deal? Like, let's be real.
It's tradition, Dominic.
What was the reason why we didn't have names on back of jerseys a long time ago? Like, what was the reason? Because
fabric was too expensive.
Like stitching.
It was an obsession.
Shut up. He wasn't that old. He came in '83. It wasn't no tradition. It was just because of just not having it, not having, or it will just take too long at the time to go through that. Like, and then not people changing and stuff like that. You didn't have the economics to it. Just didn't make sense back in the 1800s.
They used to share jerseys though.
So yes, just like you might. Well, you know what? Don't have lights in stadiums. I mean, what the fuck? like take them out too. All games have to be played during the day. And if go too long in the extra innings when the sun goes down, then you just gotta call it.
Also, we used to play during abolition. No beers in the stadiums.
Yeah, exactly.
Only in the locker rooms.
Man, they need to get these old guys out of here. I mean, the old guys. That's the bad thing is that some of these people, they just felt like, yeah, we gotta keep tradition, and then some people feel like, yeah, man, because it's tradition. It's like it's a game.
Yeah. Dominic, you know how I know insurance is a scam? Because the Yankees made a deal with Star Insurance for $25 million to get their names on these jerseys, and I have no idea who the fuck Star Insurance is.
Maybe it's a New York insurance company.
Sure. You got $25 million, I should know who the fuck you are.
Oh, yeah. yeah. Oh, man. So yeah, I'm surprised Oreos didn't have nothing. They couldn't get like Domino Sugar. They probably went for a $25 million deal too. But it's like, come on, man, you're the Orioles.
Gonna have Natty Bow on there.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably ask. You know what? There's probably plenty of people who probably offer it. It's just that Oreos probably asked for too much.
Yeah.
All right. So what other sports going to happen? Oh yeah, big deal in NBA. Damian Lillard, big-time all-star guard for the Portland Trail Blazers, is leaving Portland. She's been traded to the Bucks. I know Holiday. He's going to be taking Holiday's place, who is a great point guard, but I mean, I guess if you choose between him and Damian Lillard, you're going to take Lillard. And now the Bucks are looking great. They're looking really great. And I'm going to enjoy watching them. My last full season of NBA like basketball. Like, this is my last full season watching him, so at least I get to see that and see how he does until I just stop watching the sport. I'm kind of hoping Holiday somehow gets on the Wizards, but I doubt that happens. And even though we do already have a point guard, but you can have two. I mean, whatever. He has to somebody be, and plus the other guy seems more like a shooting guard anyway. All right. Yeah, it was some other moves that have been made too, but that's the big one. I think DeAndre Ayton, center for the Phoenix Suns, is on Portland now. I think it's like a three-way trade situation going on with that. Holiday looks like he's not going to stay on Portland, and they said he might be a free agent. That's what my brother told me, so I don't know. Football, my team finally got their first loss. They got beat up by the Bills. The Ravens, man, they lost in overtime to the Colts. That was an upset, and they got a lot of injuries on the Ravens, man. And another one, the big game, like the blowout game, 70-point game, is the Miami Dolphins, who blew out the Denver Broncos 72 something. I forgot what the Broncos score. I don't know. Somebody said because somebody's controller broke. That's what I said.
I was like, they just fully unplugged their controller. Jesus.
Yeah, the battery was out. But anyway, so Vegas, they had a chance to break a record, like for scoring, and the coach was just saying that he kind of talked around it, basically saying like he didn't. Basically, that it wasn't really worth it. Like, he was just going out to play, like, playing, but that's not about beating the record, it's about just winning the game, blah, blah, blah. Some people argue that, hey, you need to go for the record because it's professional teams. And that's how I always felt. I always felt like, if you want to blow, like, I felt like in a professional level, if you want to choose to blow out a team, like, just embarrass them, you at this, like, at what level do you do it then?
You
like,
should
that's
be
what I'm
able
saying.
to, because, yeah, exactly. Everybody's there to get paid and play this game.
Yeah. Because, like, people say you don't want to do that when they're kids. You don't want to do that in high school. You don't want to do that in college. Like, you don't want it to happen in college, even though they do it, but not purposely all the time. All the time they're not doing it purposely. Because a lot of times they take their guys out. It's just that their backups are better than other guys' starters because of recruiting. So it can't be helped. And people understand that. But it's like, in professional level, There shouldn't be there shouldn't be no freaking like is this good sportsmanship? No, it's the professionals. I'm like, you score, if you can keep scoring, go and score. Now, if you want to take your guys out for safety reasons because you're blowing them out,
yeah, that's
everybody understands that.
Yeah,
everybody understands that.
Get
but
the fourth string people in there.
I don't change the plays. I don't make it be like, I don't change the plays where we're just gonna keep running, then punt or something like that. No, we're gonna play. I mean, hey, this is your time to shine. Backups. Like, go out and play.
Exactly. Show me why you're on this team.
People pay for this game. This is different. I mean,
that's the thing.
People pay for. I guess you could argue they pay for these other games too, like at the lower level. But no, but this is professional, and you know how much those tickets cost, and it's different. It's totally different because those players are getting paid on the field. Unlike the college players, and now with the nail, it's different, but it's not the same. So. You know, you're paying for a college ticket to go watch these kids play, but you know that they're kids or very young adults, and you know it's a different type of level of the sport. You understand that. If you don't, then you're an idiot. But at a professional level, you know, these are professionals. They're getting paid. A lot of them probably getting paid more than you ever make. And I don't want to see at the end of the game like, oh, they're getting blown out, so they're just going to take it easy. Nah, I don't care if you put backups in, fine. Go out there and play and beat the shit out of this team then. Or it was even my team getting blown out. I'm like, blow them out. I want them embarrassed because I'm pissed off that they lost. They lost. I want you to make them cry. But yeah. So I feel like professional team. Look, man, you go ahead. It is. You're getting paid for it, man. It's like that. Go ahead and do it. I think they probably should have went for it. Not saying they're going to get. I mean, most like I think maybe they would have because I didn't watch the game. So maybe there was a situation where they really could have just broken the record for points scored. But I think technically Washington has that record. Man, I think it's like an old. I got to look it up. I know for the longest time we got the record for being blown out, but I guess we apparently got the record for most points also. The Cowboys lost to the Arizona Cardinals, a team that is supposed to be tanking. So this is a team that the Washington has beaten and New York Giants have beaten. And New York Giants probably should have lost that game. They came back in the second half and won, being down like 21 or something. And I joke and say that's because Arizona figured like, what are we doing? We're trying to tank. We can't be winning games. And I guess they didn't tell the players on the field though, because the players came out and played for Cowboys in the Cowboy game, and I was happy. So I'm so happy because now it kills all that Cowboys noise. Because Cowboys always, every time they start winning, they're up 2-0. People are talking about like, oh, how great this team is. Oh man, this is one of the best teams in the league. And then it got blown out by a team that's supposed to be tanking. So now I can finally have them shut the fuck up. Because I was like, we hear this every fucking year since 1995, how great this team is and how they're going to win, and they always fuck up. So I was like, good, kill that shit. Kill that noise. All right. Other than that, yeah, that's it. So any wrestling news?
Nothing really to talk about this week. There's a lot of pay-per-views this weekend, so I'll talk about some stuff next week.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm watching this young lady playing some party animals.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. It's like they're playing an arcade game in the party yet. There's a lot of mini games in this thing. I like how I like when you knock out somebody, how they just get knocked out, man. I mean, they just be laying out, man.
They just go ragdoll.
Yeah. All right. So we have nothing really to talk about, but what have we been watching? I mean, I did finish off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. And that was good. I think overall it was a good movie. I liked it. I think it was enjoyable. Very touching. It's more of a very touching Ninja Turtles kind of thing. Okay. I mean, it's a comedy, but it has its moralistic stuff in there too for the kids. For the kids thing. And so yeah, it's. I think overall it's pretty good. I don't think your daughter would like it because your daughter seemed like a punk because you said she was scared of Bowser. Yeah. I know she'd be scared of the mutants in this thing because I was scared. I was scared of goddamn Superfly. Yeah. Superfly, oh my God, scared the shit out of me. Gotcha. And I think that's Ice-T talking for him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he got the freaking perm frizz like Ice-T used to have back in the day. They got that around his head too. I'm like, yo, what? They were saying. I said, Ice-T, you let them do this, man? Come on, man. It's just like, oh, you ain't gotta do all that. Shit. You gotta make. I gotta talk for the thing. You gotta make a child look like me too, something like that. Because hell. All right. So I guess we get to what we've been playing. So you can go ahead, start off.
Yeah. So I've just been kind of going through Miles Morales still. Just working my way towards the end, a little bit at a time. Nothing really crazy going on in that game yet, but
how you like it? How you like the story so far?
I'm enjoying it. I just got to kind of the big reveal of who the villain is, or at least who
you can spoil it.
Yeah, the Shockmaster or whatever that character's name is. I'm not totally sure, but is his friend Finn. So I guess I'll see where that is going.
Finn. That's the Asian dude.
No, the girl.
I'm just making you try to say it. That's all.
What am I trying to say?
No, I'm just saying. Say it's a girl because I don't even know the boy's name honestly. I don't know his name. His friend. His Asian
trying
friend.
To think what his name is.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You said Finn, so I was like, oh, I forgot her name.
Yeah. I'm trying to it's right there because it's the same one as in the comic, right? But
yeah,
I'm blanking. Anyway, yeah, I'm still having fun with that, but not really too much to talk about. I finished the MK11 story. I also ended up picking up the Aftermath DLC because you told me it was super cheap on Xbox, and hell yeah. It's what, $5 for the game and then like another $5 for the Aftermath
WB
DLC.
25th anniversary sale, but they don't have it on Steam.
Yeah.
Why is it just on the consoles?
Yeah, that's weird. And then, like I was telling you, like it's so weird that if you buy the two separately, it's $10, but the full Ultimate Edition is still $47 or whatever if you have Game Pass, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever the regular discount is. It's like, why wouldn't you just have it all on sale? But yeah, it's silly. Overall, the story of MK11, the base stuff, I enjoyed it. It's cool how they, brought in the younger versions of themselves and did all the time travel stuff. Chronica as a villain was fine. She didn't really do too much for me though, and as a character,
you're a light bulb woman, Daniel.
Yeah, that's what it is. I did not like fighting her though, because like the
No, I did not
the
either.
rewind stuff is just, it was annoying as hell. And then
It was a cheat. Yeah, when you die, you have to start over fucking over.
that was the thing, is like fighting her in that last battle, you basically have to only beat her. Like, you have to lose the first battle, which is dumb. Or you can either lose the first battle or beat her twice, if that makes sense. Because, like, first you fight her in the prehistoric land, and if you lose to her, then you go to the edge of time or whatever, the beginning of time. And if you beat her there, then you beat the game. But if you beat her in the prehistoric era, it's like, oh, nothing's going to change. And then you have to fight her again. So it's like, this is really dumb. But if you lose the first round and then immediately skip to the next thing and lose there, then you have to start over at the prehistoric one again. So eventually I beat her twice at the prehistoric thing. Yeah. And then the Aftermath stuff, none of the characters that they have you play as, you play as Nightwolf, Fujin, Sindel, and or Shao Kahn, because they kind of do the switch back and forth, like you get to choose which one you want to fight as. I mostly fought as Shao Kahn because I didn't really like Sindel's moveset too much, or at least I didn't get used to it in the couple of fights that I had. I do like her scream, but other than that, and like the cartwheel kick, nothing was really working for me. And then Shang Tsung. And out of those, I think Fujin I liked the best. He had kind of like all the kind of god characters have, like they have their teleport-esque thing, except he kind of just like jumps up into the sky and runs across the screen. Projectiles and, the normal stuff that I guess most MK characters actually have in one way or another. The story of that, it feels like they did it in a way that, like, if that didn't exist at all, it wouldn't have changed anything about the end of that game to what seemingly MK1 is, because I haven't played that yet, so I don't know how, like, specifically they get into what happens there. But, like, it's basically like Aftermath is, okay, so Liu Kang has the powers of the Timekeeper and Raiden's powers because Raiden merged with them. But if he uses his Timekeeper powers to try and restart the timeline, it's going to break the hourglass because he doesn't have Kronika's crown, which he needs to keep everything together. So they go back into the timeline that they came out of to try and get the crown before he kills Kronika and return it, which apparently Shang Tsung created this crown to help her control her powers or some shit. And the way it goes from there is like, it feels like if you showed me the end of that, depending on your choice, because at the very end they do give you a choice. But if you choose the one that seemingly is the canonical one, the difference between like the very final scene of that and the very final scene of the original game is null and void, basically, outside of Liu Kang now wearing a crown, I guess. But it definitely does lead into Mortal Kombat 1 if you choose the more canonical ending, because they show you, this character that you see in Mortal Kombat 1 as in a different position than they are in the other games, because they switch everything around a little bit. So overall, I liked it. I found myself doing a lot more fighting in Aftermath. I think I spent like 4 hours. That's about how long it is. And I was playing on medium. Those fights felt very easy, which I was happy about because I did not feel like struggling, especially after having to fight Kronika like 5 or 6 times. But it definitely felt like I was doing a lot of damage to those characters versus what they were doing to me. So I think overall, Aftermath, I'm glad I didn't spend, $30 full price on that upgrade. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad I did not spend that, but $5, I happily pay that. You also got the extra characters. I haven't messed around with them too much. I did play a little bit of Melina, and who else? I think I played somebody else as well, but outside of the ones that were included in the actual like Aftermath storyline. Because it's like you and I were talking about, I was playing this on the PC, bought through the Xbox Play Anywhere stuff. And the first time I booted up the game, like it's telling me that I don't have Aftermath. It's telling me I don't have Terminator. I don't have RoboCop. You know, I don't have any of these characters from the latest combat pack. And I'm like, what's going on here? I have to go into the store in the game and refresh or something. And I couldn't figure it out. And then eventually I'm just kind of like fiddling around in the Xbox app, and you got like this extra menu where all of the DLC stuff is shown, and you have to go into each one and click install for every single thing. And it's like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like, even if it's like when you install it, give me a checklist of that stuff to like, what do you want to turn on and what do you not want to turn on, or just let me turn on everything versus having to go into the stupid menu that's pretty buried, you know, if you're not specifically looking for it, and then try and figure out why my characters aren't showing up. You know, that kind of sucks. So that's that. And then the last game that I played is a new one this week, Cocoon. It came out on Game Pass. And maybe I had heard this in the past, but it wasn't until after I played some and was looking at more stuff about it. This is actually from a studio that is made up of some former Playdead people, so Inside and Limbo. I don't know how much of Playdead exists anymore, because you had the one group that went off and did that one game that I did not really enjoy too much. And now you have this other group that split off and made this game. So I don't know how much of Playdead still exists. I went to their website and they do have like, hey, we're working on a new project. So they're not gone, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So the two lead guys like left. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so this is, I had seen this, and it actually, I think I did hear a little bit about that, like, you know, those people being a part of this, because I was like, oh, you know, I'm interested, but like seeing the gameplay, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's a very simple game. You move around with the stick, you interact with the A button. Those are the only controls to the game. But it's basically a puzzle kind of adventure game. You're this little bug creature, and you're going around and you're interacting with objects. Sometimes you have to pick up an orb and set it down on switches, and that'll activate something. Sometimes there's something else in the environment that complicates, you know, these puzzles. They do have, I've fought in 2 bosses so far, and those are really interesting because since the only thing you have is the ability to basically like pick things up and put them down, and not even necessarily in a forceful way, they have pretty creative, like puzzly ways for you to overcome these bosses. And I think both of those that I've played so far are pretty cool. You don't really die. You get thrown back out into your last load point, which is kind of like this, you teleport off into this little like place, almost like you're in a different dimension, and then you just teleport back in and you can fight the boss again. So it's so seamless that like, even though there's kind of like a hidden load there, that it doesn't really stop you from playing too much, and you just get right back into it. It looks really nice. It has very much of like a Journey flat shaded look to it. It's isometric view, and the stuff they do when you pick up like the orbs, it has very nice lighting as well. So far, definitely recommend it, especially if you have Game Pass. I think it's only a $20 game anyway. I don't know how long the game is yet. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too long if I've already fought 2 bosses. But yeah, I've been playing it through the cloud streaming just because I was like, let me check this game out before I commit to anything else. You know, let me see what's going on with it. And I think I'll probably download it just so I can record some stuff, because I did have a little trouble with the streaming, not too much, but I did get a couple instances of like it just kind of not kicking me out, but disengaging and then re-engaging again. And then there was some stuff where I did get some lag where I'm like holding right and then it stutters and then I fly across the screen basically. And a little bit of blockiness, like you've talked about with your streaming experiences. I've seen some of that. But nothing too bad. For the most part, it was quite playable. So, yeah, that game's really cool. So, what have you been playing?
All right. So it's not based off the movie.
No, not the movie.
With the old people.
I don't think so.
Man.
There might be a twist at the end. I don't know, but so far.
That's the world they went to.
It might be. They all became bug people.
All right. So I've been playing a lot of Starfield. I'm doing a story where I am infiltrating the Crimson Fleet. I'm going undercover for the UC military to dismantle them. So I'm doing that now. That's pretty cool. What else have I done in the game? I know I bought some ships. I finally figured out shipbuilding because I was trying to figure out how to hide my contraband. Because I pick up things, I pick up everything. So it says, "Oh, you got contraband, you can't land here." It's like, "Oh, son of a bit," or I'll get arrested, or where I get arrested and they take it away. So I finally figured out a place where you can buy something to hook up to your ship. But I was just thinking it's something you just buy and it just hooks up, and I was like, I don't see this. I keep reading, but then I realized I have to go to shipbuilding and buy it like that, like I'm built, and then place it on my ship somewhere. And it's simple. So I was like, because I was like, oh man, I want to go building my ship. I ain't want to play Legos, man. So then I figured it out. So it's pretty simple. But unfortunately, I guess it's just a percentage chance they'll see the contraband, or it's supposed to be in your ship. I think it was on me, but I was just hoping that they just won't sense it on the ship at all, like anything within the ship. Yeah. So I guess it had to be in the cargo space, but because they still got me, and that's how I'm doing this mission, because the guy asked me to do this when I was arrested. So I was pissed off, but I was like, I might as well just do this mission then, since I'm already here. What else have I played? I played some Vampire Survivors. I know you picked up that DLC. I didn't play really any of the DLC yet though. I've been trying to unlock the Shroud freaking weapon or whatever. But that I have unlocked under my name and not under your name. The thing is, I keep getting issues with doing it, but I'll be unlocking other things, but not the thing I'm really trying to. Because either the guy who I pick as, they don't level up enough where I can unlock it, or I die too fast or something like that. So something I was trying to find what's the best way to do it. I forgot how I did it the first time, but it's have you ever listened to the podcast? I'm sorry, this off topic because I'm seeing a commercial right now. They're in an Apple commercial, but have you ever seen a podcast with Jason Bateman and the guy from Will and Grace? I think they do a podcast together.
Oh, really?
I think the homosexual guy from Will and Grace. I think he's really a homosexual. Not the main character. That Will.
Yeah.
His friend.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, they have. I guess they do I think they do a podcast together. So you never listened to it?
No, I thought I had heard something about a podcast with Jason. Maybe this is the one I'm thinking of, and I just didn't realize it was him on there. Oh, Sean Hayes is his name. Yeah, okay. I have heard about this recently, but I have not listened to it yet.
Okay, I just want to know how it is. All right.
Yeah.
So what else? Marvel Snap. I've been playing a lot of that. I forgot to mention it last week because I got a deck that I really like. It's really but it has its problems. Like you're gonna probably lose a lot, but see, at least I'm having fun. Because I know what I need to do. Like if I get this set up where I have a Visible Woman, MODOK, and who the fuck is that woman named Hela? then I win 100% of the time. There's never been a time I lost. But if I, but that's that means, but excuse me, I have to play them in a certain order. So if I don't get them before like 4, all 3 cards, or not all 3, at least a visible woman. If I don't get a visible woman before, it's a crapshoot. And then if I have Modok and Hela, it's kind of it won't really work. I just have to make it work with some other cards, like trying to win, and just hoping some shit happens. Because here's the strategy. The strategy is that with the visible woman, she hides your cards, like in your location. You place her in a location, and when you place a card there, it's not revealed to the end of the game. So I put her card down, then I put Modok down, and Modok, he destroys all the cards in your hand.
Oh wow!
So I put him down, then I put Hela down, and she'll revive all the cards that are in your hand into random places anywhere.
Oh.
So what I do is that, because if you just do Modok and Hela, thing is you'll be destroying Hela if she's in your hand. So you can't revive. You can't revive the cards there. Only thing you got hope for is that if you don't have, sometimes I might not have visible woman or Hela, or I won't see Hela. I don't see Hela the whole hand. I just pray to God, like, oh, she's the last card I pick, and go. Sometimes it does happen. Sometimes it don't. Or sometimes I might have Hela and Invisible Woman, but don't have Modok, but I have Jubilee, who her power is that when you put her down, she'll pick a card from your deck. So thing is, I'll play her instead of Modok, and just hope that she picks Modok, and then Hela comes and does it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes I still win because I have these other cards that might do it, and but it's fun because I always get to a point where people think, oh man, they whip this guy's ass, because they only have like 1 or 2 cards down, and so they're looking at it like they should win, but they don't know that I'm going to be killing all my cards and reviving them, and then it just comes out and beat them. Yeah, and I love it. I love it because one dude, oh my goodness, this little bastard. Like, you know what? He was a bastard. Because now there's there's Agatha. Agatha is a card where she plays your hand for you. Huh. And I guess that's a good way to farm. Like, you could just have her play and stuff like that. But thing is, this guy was an ass. Like, I didn't even know he had Agatha because we were playing Conquest, so I'm playing him different rounds. So then I saw him put Agatha down. I was like, oh, he's getting Agatha's playing the cards for him. But that doesn't mean that you have to take long putting your cards down. You still got to hit the button. This guy was waiting until, like, I guess his strategy is that he was going to make you quit because he takes so long. Well, joke's on him is that I had nothing to do that day. So I was like, yo, we're going to play this shit. We're playing this shit to the end. And this game went long. This game should not have taken 30 minutes, but it did. No game should ever take 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it did because of this asshole. So he's just going in like he was winning. I think I won along like 2 hands or something. He was winning. So then he just kept pressing like snap so he could hurry up and get me out. But I would get my setup right. And then I'll get the setup, or I'll get something that wins. And I was like, shit, I want to win this. I was like, nah, I want to beat this asshole. And then it finally got to the end, and I did beat him. I actually beat him, and like I was like, in your face, asshole. I don't care if this kid was just like a 10-year-old, Daniel. I don't care if he was 10 years old. I kind of want him to have cancer because he should not have done that, Daniel. Wasting my fucking time to play this game. This son of a bitch. I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of just getting a win. I was like, no, you're not getting a win. I said, we're going to play. It's like, if you get a win, we're going to play it all out. You ain't going to make me quit. And Darren, I wish they give you emoji. I wish they gave you emoji we could text, man. I was like, you piece of shit. You piece of shit, 10-year-old. You see?
Meanwhile, it's a 70-year-old man.
Hope we get bullied at school. You say, God damn it. But anyway, but it's been plenty of times that I think it was one time a guy, he kept putting like, yo, put a pen. Look, he put put a pound before the game was over to be like, good game, like he gonna win. And I'm like, oh, I hope he got something because I'm about to put my move down. And I won. And then they have a thing that says what happened. And that's what he put down. What happened? He put what happened. He hit the actual text thing that says, so I guess he thought he was going to win. And I was like, you cocky son of a bitch. You going to put a fucking pound before the game over. Like, what the hell? I was like, the thing is, here's the thing. If I really thought I lost, I would have quit. Because I wouldn't lose as many cubes. So I'm like, what? And sometimes I'm happy when people do that shit. Because they'll be like, oh, they must got something. I mean, sometimes they could be bluffing, but a lot of times, if I know I don't have nothing, and if they don't do anything, I'll still play because I'll be like, I might still got a chance because I don't know what they got. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I do got a chance. But if I don't know if I have a chance, and then they put smarmy, they snap at the end. That's why they say don't snap at the end, because you snap at the end, the person knows you got something, and if they don't got nothing, and they know that they probably might not beat you, they're on the cusp. They'll just quit and you won't get your cubes. Right. Because you got a better chance. It's probably better to get 2 than just 1. Like, they're trying to get 4. Like, the possibility to get 4. Because cubes at the end. The max you can get is 8 if both people snap. But, yeah, they snap and they're like, go ahead. I guess their hope is like, oh, I got something. But it's like, you snapped too late. So, because now I know you got something, I'm going to quit. So you're only going to get 1 cube. And I'm only going to lose 1 cube. So it's not that big a deal. So also, people, they try to get you to just say snap. That's why I wish you could turn that shit off. Emoji shit, because they'll snap and say they want you to snap. Snap. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna snap. I don't know if I'm gonna fucking win. I only snap if I really want some cubes real fast and I don't care about losing. Like, I just don't care. Or it's part of the one of those quests. Like, some quests are saying, like, win by snap. Win, like, 4 games by snap. So I just do it. Like, I'm just trying to get the quest. I don't really care about this. Because, like, I'm at the point where I'm at around level 70. I seem like I can't go further than that. I seem like I always lose where I can't get to 80. So I just play around now. And, like, I'm waiting for the next season to start. So I don't really care about the cube stuff anymore. Like, so I don't care about, like, but if I know I'm going to lose, I'm not going to keep playing. I'm going to quit because I'm not going to let you just get your max cubes. So yeah, like, yeah, that's why I know that they're kids and they're assholes. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck y'all or whatever, man. I hope your daddy beat you. But anyway, but yeah, I've been having fun with that. I've been having fun with Snap. I played some Ace Attorney because that was on Game Pass. Let's play a little bit of it. Of course, just the first case I played, and yeah, I mean, I played this before already on the with the remastered edition on the Switch. So actually, yeah, I played it on the Switch. Yeah, because I played the other one, the old timey Ace Attorney game. Oh, yeah. I played that on a PC, which I wish they would. I guess hopefully they'll get that up here because I wouldn't mind play that again. They get that on Game Pass. All right, so also played Warhammer Dark Tide, the PC game that's like Vermintide, which is supposed to do a console version, but I guess something went wrong with that. You know, I don't know what's going on with that situation, but since I had a faster at least SD drive, I said maybe I can actually play it some, and I can. Yeah, it plays a lot better than one time I had tried it before, and it was just horrible. But yeah, I just played the very beginning, which is like the tutorial, and I played with some people on a mission too. And yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. It's different than Vermintide because of the setting is different, and you don't use melee well, at least I didn't use melee as much as I did in Vermintide, though they do have it. But yeah, it's one of those games that's 4-player co-op against the environment. That seems like it's enough there for that game. I don't know how much this game is now. I don't now I have to play some more to say do I like it better than Back 4 Blood. Like the downside for Back 4 Blood is that I think it's too even on the easiest level, is a little too difficult to play. And it's just, I don't know, it's something about it that's making it not as fun. And I don't like the whole leveling up of weapons and stuff. Like, I just want Left 4 Dead. You know, you get the weapon and you go. And I think Dark Tide does this. And I think that's just going to be a thing because people, they try to maximize their value of the game. They try to get it to a point where, hey, you can buy some skins, you know, you can buy this. Well, I feel like at most skins, I can deal with skins. Just do that. But I don't get the whole, like, oh, level up and you get more skins. No, just maybe I can buy them, okay? Because I don't want to have to be, like, so many different weapons and shit like that. Like, just make it simple. Because then it makes it better. Because, like, you know what weapons work with the game. I think that's what good about Left 4 Dead. It's a certain amount of weapons in the game. Like, it's not a ton of weapons, like 50 weapons or something like that. And then the game works with what they have. So they can optimize it to the best of its ability around the weapons they have. And the more weapons you have, the more it takes, you know, to make it good. Or sometimes games get broken that way. They gotta patch them. Because, like, oh, this weapon's too OP. So, oh, this won't shoot so many bullets per second now, or something like that, or some blah, blah, blah. It's like, yo, just, yeah, I like the whole, that's why I like Left 4 Dead. I like the simplicity of it. But I guess you can't maximize your costs with that game. I guess you have to be rich as Steam to make a game like that. I mean, as Valve, to make a game like that, because they won't care about maximizing costs on that game. They'll just make it, and then people can just mod the shit out of it. But yeah, but Dark Tide, I might play some more. I mean, I'll see because of Starfield, man. It's just like taking a lot of time, man. Because every now and then I do feel like playing something actiony. You know, I feel like just shooting around. Because sometimes I don't get to do that in Starfield. I mean, it all depends what mission I'm doing. I'm not shooting everybody. And but every now and then on Starfield, I do just shoot around, like I save and just say I'm gonna shoot everybody, and then just shoot up like I just shoot up the city while the police all chasing me and everything. Lock me up. Because I get that itch, Daniel. I get that itch. We got a gun in your hand, and I'm not using it, Daniel. I'm like, I gotta use it. So yeah, that's it. All right. I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're doing a flashback segment. There really was no games for like the last week of September. Back in the past, that's worth talking about. So we're just going to go right into October, and we're going to do covers, video game covers, magazine covers. We're going to start with Xbox Magazine, and we got Elder Scrolls Online on the front. This game is still going on. This game has become, it's popular. It's popular. They still do updates for it. People still, enjoyed it. Now, I don't remember what the buzz was when it first came out. But I don't remember it being horrible. Like that.
No, I don't remember it being
like,
bad, but people weren't like super excited about it. I don't think either.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because I played some. I don't think I played. It might have been a beta. It might have been a beta when it first came out because I felt like I played it early. And like it felt like an Elder Scrolls game, but I just didn't care about talking to people. I mean, having other people in my world. I mean, no, I like talking to people, but NPCs, man. I don't want no real people. So it wasn't like something I wanted, but I could see it happen, like being there. I definitely see Fallout 76 being a thing. I definitely not seen that happen. This made more sense because it kind of feels like, like the Warcraft kind of thing, and it just that it looks much duller. It looks much duller than Warcraft. But yeah, it's still going ahead. A lot of updates, and I mean, it's still got a lot there. And playing it now, like you could just play by yourself, so that's cool that they have that. Like where you don't really have to interact with nobody and just play it like a normal Elder Scrolls game. And that's all. Especially if you got Game Pass, it's free. And I don't know if it's free to play or is this you buy it and you have it, and is you don't pay monthly for it. Is that the thing?
That might be what it is now. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think what game you pay monthly for now. Like you still do Final Fantasy like that.
World of Warcraft.
Warcraft. I mean, because that's always been like that.
Yeah.
That has not changed. And I don't know about Guild Wars 2. I don't know. I mean, my dad was still talking about that game, so that they're still playing it. I don't know if that was a monthly thing. I think my dad said it was, or at least I forget. Anyway, what else we got here? State of Decay, spoiler-filled chat with the Zombie Hits creators. Yeah, that's the original State of Decay, and they did announce a 3, didn't they? Yeah. So I hope it's better to 2. I don't know. I thought I wanted what 2 did, but like my friend said he tried it and he didn't. It was just too. It was too much of the survival stuff to it. You know, it's like we're just looking for our Left 4 Dead, man. Right. Like that's what we that's what we're looking for. All right. But I mean, not to say that they should change. I mean, that's what they're doing. You know, that's the game you are. I mean, so it's probably better to ask somebody who's really into that, like how is 2 or what they want changed. It's just that for me, I just want a new, different type of game. All right, Destiny. Oh yeah, new info on Bungie's Amazing Shooter. That's right, because we're still a year away from that game coming out.
Yeah, that's when we thought it would still be amazing.
My first love, the games that inspired 40 developers. All of them are going to see Super Mario. And
they have any taste, yes.
Or Pac-Man or something like that. Elder Scrolls Online, hands-on with the RPG that ruled Xbox One, and details on
the only one that's
classes,
on there.
combat, and a world bigger than Skyrim. Well, they did have well, no, at the time I guess they don't have it yet. On the Xbox One. Yeah, they don't have anything yet. They don't have anything yet on the Xbox One. It just came out. Because Dragon Age don't come out till next year. When did Elder Scrolls come out? Did that come out this year?
I don't remember.
I mean, not this. I mean, you know what I mean. The 2013. Because I played it on the Xbox. Almost felt like I played it on 360, but maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I thought I had played it on 360. I thought it was on both.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. All right, so let's go to our next game. Hold on, I have to check this message to see if this.
Okay.
And we're leaving 2013. We're going to 20 years in 2003, and we are looking at Nintendo Power and Beautiful Joe.
Hell yeah.
The game that needs to be a remastered of.
Bring it back, you cowards.
And we got here. Also, we got here Star Wars Rebel Rouser. I don't know what that means, but then we got the Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
PN03. Mm-hmm. I sort of remember that, but that turned out not to be a good game, right?
Yeah, it wasn't great because it was part of like the Capcom 5 and everybody was excited for it. And then it was like this weird, dancy, on rails, third person shooter.
Yeah, because it looked cool. But it turned out not to be that great. Yeah. Boktai, the sun is in your hand. I remember we talked about the game last week. Also, Spotlight on EA, NFL Freedom Fighters. Okay. Wow, I got things mixed up here. NFL Street, Freedom Fighters. Freedom Fighters. I'm trying to think what that game was.
That was the one that was like a third-person shooter. You were going around, I think it was New York after like Russia was attacking or something like that, or Soviet Union was attacking. I want to say it was like an alternate timeline type thing.
It would have been better if there was NFL players as freedom fighters on the streets. What they got here? Excellent strategies for that game.
Yeah, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg.
Yeah, I'd never heard of until recently. Yeah. All right. So what else we got here? We got Game Informer in 2003, and we got Jade Empire, one of my favorite RPGs. This is like a very like almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? It snuck up on me. Like it really snuck up on me. of how good this was, because I was really looking forward to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and because I got into the game late when I got my Xbox. I got them all around the same time, but I played through them in order of when they came out, and I was waiting to that, so I was like, I see how Jade Empire is. And playing that, realizing how much better it was than Knights of the Old Republic, how you can control the character, and the fighting styles and things of that nature, and how they have all this lore that kind of mixed in the lore, Chinese lore with their own, and it was great, man, and the voice acting was good at the time, the story was great. I played that game a lot. I used to play all those games multiple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jade Empire was awesome. That was so great, and I want to play that again. But I wish it was kind of remade or something. But we'll get into that. I don't know if any of those things can be made. But what we got here? We got world exclusive at BioWare's new Xbox RPG. Then you got Doom 3 hands-on impressions and multiplayer details. Oh yeah, and we got gaming on the go, all the latest on the Nokia N-Gage, and Tap Wave Zodiac.
Yeah,
I don't remember the Tap Wave Zodiac.
I vaguely remember it. I'm trying to think of what it actually looked like, but
I remember the N-Gage. Because
I
I held that at the Game Informer to see it, and it just looks so weird. Because when you use it as a phone to turn it sideways, it's like if you put your Game Boy Advance sideways. It's what the fuck? You're what is this?
Yeah.
Man, it was too ahead of its time, Daniel.
Yeah.
If only the people see what has happened today, what the phone should have looked like. Killzone, PS2's Halo killer. Yep, it was better than Halo.
Of course.
Over 60 new reviews. And Grand Theft Auto comes to Xbox. They finally get it. I was mad. I was like, no, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve this. Yep. I was a straight pony back in the day, man.
Yeah. I was like, Xbox too.
I was like those people who write letters to game developers saying how they shouldn't put things on other consoles, that it should stay up here like they did Kingdom Hearts. Someone wrote a freaking letter. I can't believe they fucking wrote a letter to say why Kingdom Hearts should not be on the Xbox 360. This is meant to be PlayStation. It's like what's Square Enix? Somebody said Square Enix used to be on Nintendo. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you doing, you dumbass? It's not even dumbass. It's just you're fucking weird. You're a weirdo.
You got too much time on your hands.
Yeah.
Be a productive member of society.
Yeah. I was like, darn. All right. Yeah, all right. What we got in here next for 2003? We got OPM, official PlayStation magazine. We got SSX3.
Yeah.
For sexy with two S's. It's super sexy. Yeah.
I don't even remember that game being particularly sexy.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
Game.
Yeah, exactly.
All ladies in there had huge pants.
Yeah, I guess. Well, hey, man, whatever floats your boat. Maybe huge pants get you off then.
Look at those cargos and a beanie. Yeah.
Yeah, I never looked at that game that way. And right here, she's wearing two little clothes on our way up there. God damn, she's gotta be cold. Yeah. SSX3, I never played this one. You said you played this a lot.
Yeah, I played this one a lot. This was the one that I played on the GameCube because, of course, the first one was the one PlayStation, and I remember SSX being the game that I wanted. When I saw PlayStation 2, I was like, "Oh man, that's the game that I feel like I'm missing out on." And then Tricky came out, and I'm pretty sure that came out on GameCube and Xbox too, and I'm not sure why I missed out on that one. But I got this one, and I was telling you, I got that in a buy two get one free at Toys R Us, along with I want to say Tony Hawk's Underground and something else. Might have been F-Zero GX, because I was looking at the releases that came out around that time. But yeah, I think out of all three of those games, Underground I probably played quite a bit of, but SSX3 I played a lot of. Yeah,
I missed out on that one. I think I just wasn't. it was other games on my mind. Really, when this came out, I mean, Ratchet and Clank going commando. I mean, why going commando is so great. I mean, we already know why. I mean, come on, you're free. You're free when you go commando. You're free down there. But anyway, here's Freedom Fighters again.
Yep.
Game of the month. But what is it?
Exactly. That's how you feel about it, Dominic. What is
it? Yeah. Freedom Fighters was that good? I gotta see this. Freedom Fighters
was really good. I don't know that it holds up at all, but it was good at the time.
Freedom Fighters. I'm looking at this cover. I don't remember this.
This was The Division before The Division came out.
Because it looked to me, I mean, maybe when I saw it, I just thought about any other generic third-person shooter.
It does look very generic. It's it reminds me, and the I don't know that the story was quite on the same level, but it reminds me of the way that people revere Spec Ops: The Line.
Schindler's List?
Schindler's List. No, Spec Ops: The Line, where Spec Ops: The Line from like the outside looks very like generic and basic, but then once you get into it, it's actually quite interesting.
All right. Also, they have Manhunt. Yes, I like that game. Rockstar's gruesome new game Exposed. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm playing that game. Beating it when I was in college, and my friend was a friend at the time. He was my roommate. He was watching me while he was doing his homework, and scared the shit out of us when that fucking pig man head came out. Came out the end, man. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That was the only part that scared me. I mean, it wasn't really a scary game, but it was like that game. I just saw that thing when I said, "Oh my god!" I'm not ready. Thank God I had cheats, because I would have died. But yeah, I had I like that game. Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't. As much as they talk about gruesome, man, it's like, oh man, you really. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I was.
How
okay
is
with
it any more of a murder simulator than any other video game where you shoot or maim people? It's weird.
Well, because you have
the Wii controls in the second one.
The VHS kind of look to it, like it's a
like it's a snuff film.
Snuff film, yeah. That's why. And I didn't ever knew when the snuff films were. Yeah. That's the thing. I remember somebody
break
said,
out my Wii, Dominic, so I can reenact some murders with the Wii remotes.
All right. So what else we have here? We got Soul Calibur 2 cheats.
Yeah.
There we go. You can get Link in the PlayStation game.
This is April Fool's magazine.
Silent Hill 3, all the cool unlockables, and Madden NFL 2004. Also exclusive Lifeline to the game to survive. Talk to the game to survive.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Is that the one you had to have like a special mic or something?
Yeah, you had to have the headset with it.
Yeah.
That was pre-Tom Clancy's whatever that game was.
Because I was thinking about Onimusha. I thought that's the Onimusha guy right here, but I think that's the guy with Soul Calibur. And I was like, I don't recognize that character. It's like the Lifeline.
I think that's Mitsurugi.
now I know it. What else is on this cover? We got the eye toy. Yep. I always remember that monkey. Always remember that monkey with the eye toy. That pet monkey.
Yeah.
I think it's called Pets with the Z.
No. And that was like the Ubisoft one. I forget what that was called.
What was that one called? iPet?
I don't know.
So maybe it's called iPet.
Monkey.
Or Pet Eye.
Apple wouldn't let them get away with that.
Apple wasn't a thing. Well, I mean, that eye stuff wasn't a thing then.
I got Monkey Mania, but this is not the one that
That's not the one.
Of. This is Ape Escape monkeys.
Like a fuzzy, it's like a furry, fuzzy kind of monkey.
Yeah. You're right. It was iPet. EYE Pet.
Okay.
There's a second one, apparently. iPet and Friends. On a PS3. With 3D support.
And what else is up here? They got Enter the Kill Zone. The Halo killer for PS2 is nearly here. They were pushing the shit.
Yep.
They were pushing the shit out of that Halo killer.
We don't trust the media, Dominic.
And who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that girl?
It's Jess. No, not Jess.
Characters with character for 2004. Yep. And then we're never going to see her again.
Jeopardy character. No. Who's that girl? It's Jade.
All right. We got GamePro. And we got True Crime, Streets of LA on the front. Wreak Havoc in the City of Angels. The Grand Theft Auto Killer. They should have called it that.
I'm surprised they didn't on this cover.
They also got, 80+ games, Call of Duty, F-Zero GX, Final Fantasy 11 for the PC, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Billy Hatcher, and the Giant Egg. Man, I must have not been reading these magazines. I just don't remember
I'm telling you, it's everywhere.
Fable, here we go, Xbox, the most ambitious RPG ever. Yep. It was.
If you listen to Peter Molyneux.
Oh, here we go. We got everybody's favorite, the guy, dog lover, Michael Vick. Right here. Yep, I had that magazine. I said magazine. I had that video game.
I feel like that looks nothing like Michael Vick outside of the fact that there's a 7 on his uniform.
And that's all you need. Yeah, man. That game was awesome. 2004. I played the shit out of it. What else? So up here, we got Soul Calibur 2. We got Tony Hawk's Underground. We got Castlevania. Laments of Innocence. Laminate of Innocence. And we got Street Fighter. Street Fighter is this? This is a comic story. Oh, this is comic.
There you go. Comics in your game pro.
The only thing I see if I look at is their swimsuit issues. That's the only stuff I look at. So. All right, so that's it for 2003. So now I only got one for 1993. We got Nintendo Power. We got Yoda on the front. Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, this is. I guess people really like these games. I just wasn't, because I wasn't a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the new ones came out I started getting more into Star Wars. But yeah, I was like a huge fan, and then I didn't have a Super Nintendo anyway. But I didn't really. The only thing about Star Wars I cared about was the ships. If I see a flying TIE fighter or something, that was cool, But other stuff. So I really had nobody to really push me into like, hey, this game is cool. Nobody really none of my friends like Star Wars. Like none of the people I knew then, nobody was like still Star Wars fans or nothing. My brother had liked it, but he was older, so he wasn't like he was really paying attention. Like he had this old comic book of the third movie. I used to read that a lot because that's when I learned to read. I just kept reading the same things we had around and stuff. And I didn't find it boring until later on, so that's why. So I didn't see those yet, so that's why I was busy rereading these.
I was getting an education instead.
Yeah. So So what else we got? The Force Prevails, and then you have Mortal Kombat, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy. Yeah. Look at that Yoda.
That's what Yoda's meant to look like.
They chose this cover. They could have done like a better. Nothing wrong with this. It's just like you're trying to get psyched some people. I don't know. I feel like you show a lightsaber or
Do I play as Yoda? It's an R2 in the swamp back there. What's going on?
At least have Yoda with a Mario hat on or something. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll get back and get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. First up, the Meta Quest 3 has been announced. Of course, the successor in the Meta Quest line, formerly Oculus Quest. It is launching on October 10th, so just mere days away at this point, for $499.99 for the 128 gigabyte version and $650 for the 512 gigabyte version. It's slimmer. It looks better. It's got pass-through. It's got cameras, more cameras on the outside. It looks like a decent upgrade. One of the things I saw, though, is we previously talked about how they were talking about bringing the Xbox Cloud gaming stuff to the Oculus, and they have officially announced that is coming in December. But as of now, Dominic, it is only coming to the Oculus Quest 3.
Fuck them.
Yep. Yep.
Fuck them. thinking you get a whole new quest. Man, get the hell out of here.
Because somebody
Ain't no
posted
damn
on
reason.
they posted on Twitter about it, and then somebody posted asking him if they were bringing it to 2, and then they just got like a canned reply of like, "Hey, if you have a feature suggestion, you should put it in this forum." It's like, oh, so you definitely aren't just going to let people play on this? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I hope this is wrong and just kind of miscommunicated, but if that's the case, that really sucks.
Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm some candy in my mouth.
It's that time of the year.
Like, I'm already mad that they still haven't put the app on Roku or something like that, or on everything.
That's because they got that deal with
like
Samsung TVs or something.
I was wondering how long that deal supposed to be, man.
And like, how lucrative is that? Are they getting paid by Samsung to do that? Like, it doesn't feel like a sales driver for Samsung, so I don't know why they would pay.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's in Microsoft's best interest to get more people subscribed to their service. So like, it should be everywhere, including my Nintendo Switch. Nintendo, come on. Excuse me. Yeah, so like, come on. I don't know. Meta Quest 3 looks cool. I still don't know that I'm going to be able to play too much VR stuff anytime soon, so not too worried about it, but it looks like a fine upgrade. You know, I'm sure even the Meta Quest 2, like, looking at that screen versus my Oculus Rift, like, I'm sure that would just blow my mind, so, you know, it's whatever at this point.
I'm just waiting for them to have it just like how you have your glasses, man. And it just kind of just work like that.
Yeah. I mean, you got some of these, you've got the, like, what are they, N-Reels or something like that? I always see these commercials on, like, YouTube where they're like, it's not VR, but it's like AR stuff. So it's like, oh, you can hook this up to your Switch and you'll have a 108-inch screen in front of you, which, like, in most cases would.
Let me say this before I forget. Dan, I forgot.
All right.
You need to wake up, well, in the morning, I think around 9:30 or whatever in the morning, because I think it's a NFL game in London. But they have it where you can watch it like in Toy Story, like the Toy Story.
I heard something about this.
Or playing the game, like they're showing like the players as toys playing live with the game.
Interesting.
I guess it's kind of some type of AI to make it move like the player. I don't know, but I do want to check that out.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of fun. I had vaguely heard something about this. I think just yesterday.
And then they're gonna learn that, you know what, we're just gonna have just computer generated players now, and just don't have to pay anybody.
Well, we also don't have people getting concussions, so I'm all for it, Dominic.
Oh no, but you know what? Then they have these big ass stadiums though. So what the fuck the stadiums gonna be there for?
You're still gonna sit in those seats to get the real feeling of the cold air outside.
Yeah.
But then you're all just gonna be wearing glasses watching toys play.
They're just for Taylor Swift concerts. Oh yeah, I also do not like that Taylor Swift is dating Kelsey, because this is the most I've ever seen Taylor Swift in the whole time Taylor Swift has ever existed in the popular television. Because I don't see her. Like I don't normally see her. I mean, I hear her, but like I don't know none of her music or anything. Nothing against her. It's just that
you know her music. You just don't know that you know her music.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I seriously don't.
Ain't nothing that unlocks in the back of your head.
Put like this. It's like I never hummed it. And I can't. I mean, I'm being very honest. Like I can't. Like if somebody came to me say, just say the few words of a Taylor Swift song, I would say boy, blah blah blah. I'm hoping that one of those songs started with the boy. That she does say boy.
100%.
Because I have
that's
no
like
idea.
70% of her catalog.
Like I have no idea what she says. Because like I mean I heard a song, but it's never stuck with me or anything. But I couldn't even tell you right now about her. But I was okay. I was good with that. And I wish I could still stay that way. But now, this, like my brother had told me, he's like, why can't I just have football? I said, what are you talking about? Say, man, I think he's showing Taylor Swift all the time now, man. It's like, I ain't never seen this mid. It's just like, well, he didn't say mid. But he said like this average girl, like they all are saying like all his fans, it's like I don't care about her, and I think that's just a black thing because I don't know any black person that ever really talked about Taylor Swift. Yeah. You know, as far as looks, like Beyonce or stuff like or any other people, like Taylor Swift, she's not bad. Like she's just pretty average, and it's just not. But I mean, but like I said, but when I looked online, I see a lot of people say, "Oh man, yeah, she fine and stuff." It's like that. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a racial thing." I mean, not in a bad a disconnect way, here, but it's like I just don't see it. Yeah. It's like I don't see what y'all see.
There's some preferences involved.
All I'm saying is that Kelsey's girl, the girl he had before, now she was something.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, she was black. But she looked real good. But hey, whatever happened happened. He broke up with her, and now with her, and somebody said he code switched. He said he I'm like, but he's white, so I don't know how is that still the same thing. But yeah, like this is okay. But it's like the NFL doesn't need this though. It's like, do you really need to keep showing Taylor Swift? It's like NFL doesn't need to be any more popular. I mean, it's there.
That's what you say, Dominic. They believe otherwise.
It's there. Like I don't need to see. I don't need to see. I don't know what they call her. What they call her peoples. I know they call monsters for Lady Gaga, and
Swifties.
Beyonce. Oh, Swifties. Yeah, I don't need the whole bunch of Swifties and shit like in the football space. Like, yo, it's bad enough I deal with regular fans. Like
sure.
Like that's the thing. I don't like dealing with regular fans a lot of times. I don't want to be dealing with those Swifties. All right, go ahead. What were we talking about? What's the next?
All right, next story is Hideki Kamiya is leaving Platinum Games. He is one of the co-founders, also famous for directing Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, which we mentioned earlier, Okami, Bayonetta. I don't think I've seen any speculation about whether he's going anywhere else or what he's doing. I didn't see any verbiage of him like retiring, so I wonder. And I mean, you know, if he's got such a large connection with Capcom, I wonder if he would, you know, go back there and do something there, or if, you know, he's got something bigger in mind. I mean, Platinum's always been one of those studios that's been really hit or miss, right? Where it's like they have these really high highs and these kind of really low lows. So I don't know. That's just an interesting story. Speaking of people leaving places, Dominic, Jim Ryan is stepping down at Sony. He's no longer going to be leading the company there. What do you think, Dominic? Did he lose to Phil Spencer and now he's out? Is that why?
And then, see, that's the question. It's like him stepping down. Is it because of the deal?
He let this merger get away, Dominic. He let it happen.
The merger, or what was the other thing? Like, so that's what PlayStation going down. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he can't control the games coming out, no. So I can't see why that would be it.
I mean, it might just be time for him. You know what? What's his name? Sean Layden, the guy that was before him. Like, he wasn't around for a long time, so you know, could just be. You know, I made my money.
Jack Tretton.
Where was Jack Tretton in there? Where was he?
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember Sean Layden. I don't think, because when people say Sean Layden, I always think about Jack Tretton.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit. I was to say because Jack Ryan wasn't right after Jack.
Oh yeah. Trent was before Sean Layden. Yeah, so we've actually seen quite a few guys come through there, I guess. So, I mean, I guess the thing is like, it always feels like these. Well, Jack Trent wasn't a British guy; he was an American guy. But like Sean Layden was a British guy. It really feels like Sony's leadership has gone like European. I guess because like for so long, that's where they were the most dominant, right? So it's like, oh, clearly somebody over there is doing something right. But I've noticed like in Japan, they're not. I mean, they're only dominant just because of default.
I mean, really, Nintendo. I mean, if you're not consider them a competition for Nintendo,
Yeah.
they're just leader default. But it's not really like what Japanese games. What's the big Japanese games that they talk about? Like the biggest games. Yeah, like the biggest games. Like they're talking about Spider-Man. I mean, what does Spider-Man do in Japan? And what does God of War do in Japan?
Yeah.
What does Last of Us do in Japan?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, that's why you see them secure deals with like Square, right? Like you still gotta have that Final Fantasy because, I mean, a lot of Sony's biggest games are also coming out of Europe. Like Horizon Zero Dawn. Those guys are over there. So, yeah. I mean, now that I'm looking at like all of the guys that we have seen from Sony, like man, we have cycled through a lot of guys because there was Andrew House also, Ken Kutaragi, of course. But yeah, so now's the time. Jim Ryan's gonna sail off on
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot, yes. When he was outside with the microphone yelling at Nintendo. I need to bring that back. Oh man, Dominic, Crash Bandicoot is gonna be Microsoft's spokesperson.
Why you say that? Oh yeah, because
Activision. That's wild. We live in wild times, Dominic. I need those commercials back, but him just yelling at Sony buildings. I need him outside of Jim Ryan's house. Cause like now that Jim Ryan's retiring, like him and Phil Spencer are gonna become best buddies. I know it's gonna happen. And then he's gonna pay him to be in a commercial. And all the Sony fanboys are going to be mad that he betrayed the company. But it'll be fine because it'll be hilarious.
I see people on the Twitter people, they're up here saying, yeah, they should get a real gamer or something like that.
Real gamer? Jesus Christ. The fuck's that even mean? Fuck out of here.
Person who plays
like
video
Phil Spencer?
Games,
like...
Yeah, I think that's what they say there. You got to get a guy who plays video games.
I mean, do we know that Jim Ryan doesn't play video games, or does he just give off the vibe of not video game guy? I mean, definitely doesn't give off the vibe of video game guy, but most of these
he doesn't feel like either
don't.
Phil Spencer or whatchamacallit, used to be with Nintendo. What's his name? No, the guy who's American.
Reggie.
Reggie, yeah.
Reggie honestly didn't give me like super video game vibes either. Reggie gave me
but he lied. He lied and said he did, so that's enough. This guy didn't even say he did.
He didn't talk about his cats in emails like Jim Ryan did. All right. And some other Sony news. Speaking of Horizon Forbidden West, they announced a complete edition of that. That's going to include the base game and Burning Shores, the DLC. That's coming out on the PS5 on October 6th, so just a few days away. And then they also announced that a PC version of that game is coming in early 2024. So we'll finally see Horizon Forbidden West on the PC. So that's cool. Once again, another Sony exclusive.
Gives me another some time to finally play Horizon Zero Dawn DLC that I had for so many years.
All right, next up in other Sony news, also, Dominic, the KOTOR remake has basically been erased from Sony's internet. They took down Twitter posts about that game. They have delisted the trailer on YouTube. You can still see it as part of their presentation, I think, from 2021 when that game first debuted. And I think there's still like one tweet that references it because it also references some other games. I saw somebody had reached out. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Jason Schreier. It was the other guy, and I can't think of his name right now. The other like real games journalist. He had reached. What's that? Mario.
I said Wario.
Oh, Wario. Okay. Basically, he reached out to Disney. Disney was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Talk to Sony. Sony was like, we regularly delist things that contain music from expired licenses or something like that. And it's like, why would it be expired if the game is still in active development? There were rumors like shortly after that that trailer came out, that basically the demo, and I think we even talked about them one year, basically the demo that they created to showcase the work, you know, basically say like, this is what this game is going to be, ended up being like way over budget. And for that game to actually happen in that capacity was like nigh impossible. So it was like very rocky. Then it got handed over to a different developer, I think, even at one point. I don't know if any of that has been said officially or not, but yeah, it definitely seems like there is some fire behind this smoke that's going on. It just seems like such a high profile thing for you to try and kind of sweep under the rug all of a sudden. And that's definitely something like people are excited about. It's not like, why would they do that thing? You know, it's KOTOR remake, one of the, you know, highly rated RPGs in the Star Wars universe, no less. And the trailer that they showed off looked incredible, of course. So like, yeah, people are clamoring for that, but here we are. Maybe that game doesn't even exist anymore. So I guess we'll see. What was your, I mean, besides it being like a Sony exclusive, what was your level of anticipation for that?
I didn't know. Not until I saw more.
Yeah.
Like I was just waiting. I was waiting for the next trailer. Like right now, nothing. It was nothing, honestly.
Gotcha.
Not until I see some trailer, like showing some little gameplay or whatever.
Give me a release date.
Yeah. Yeah. But give me something. I mean, at least a gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gave me a game, I'll be excited. I would get excited, but you know, just a teaser is nothing for me now. And
Xbox has desensitized us to teasers because they've got 60 million of them floating out there that the games have not come out yet for.
So I need it more.
I need something with a hood. Yeah.
Like, cause at the end of the day, it's a remake, so it wasn't like a new game. So that's one thing. One thing they said, oh, new Star Wars RPG. I'm like, oh shit. Say okay, and it's made by the guys. Well, you can't say BioWare anymore because BioWare's name is kind of stained now. So it's not. I don't know. Like years ago, I would have been excited. Now it's like, okay, wait and see.
Yeah,
wait and see. I mean, it's just where I am in my life and the way the game industry is, basically. The studios that I love, they have put out some stinkers. They've done some things that's really, like, doesn't get me, like, I question. So, yeah, that needed to be something else. Like, because BioWare wasn't doing it. So, and those guys who made that game, I don't know where those guys, like, the head guys aren't there anymore, so I don't know all the little guys, the guys who were little at the time. I don't know what they are now.
Yeah.
So again, that game's like 20 years old, man. So it's, yeah. I mean, I'm saddened because I do want to see a remake. I do want to see something along those lines. And now I'm just gotta hope for goddamn what you call it? Dragon Age. Whatever Dragon Age is doing, like what BioWare doing with that, but I'm not really high on that either because I don't know. They've been too quiet, and then I keep hearing like problems and stuff. So I mean, some things happening. So yeah, like I got the game, I got Starfield. So now it's just say, you gotta get me excited. I got the game I wanted.
Yeah. All right.
Oh well, what other game do I want? Like, I'm trying to think. Is there another game I want that's like I can't wait to play?
I think last time we talked about it, there wasn't really.
Yeah. I guess the Apollo Justice remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. All right. So what do we got, man?
All right, next up is an actual canceled game, Hyenas. This is from Creative Assembly, the team over at Sega. It was a live service first-person shooter set in like space.
Creative Assembly, what do they make? Do they make strategy games?
Yeah, they typically make strategy games, which is even more of a reason why I was like, why are you making this game? Because live service games are hot, Dominic. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until, I believe, relatively recently, this game was in closed beta and being actively worked on, and it sounds like Sega is basically cutting losses and stopping the development of this game. I think there's some speculation out there that we're also going to see some job cuts coming out of Sega relatively soon, also potentially related to this. And that, of course, is pretty bad. But that kind of rolls right into our next story, which is that Epic has divested from Bandcamp. They picked up Bandcamp, I think, a couple of years ago. Everybody was kind of speculating maybe they would do some kind of like music concert stuff with Fortnite, you know, because they also had picked up Harmonix. But kind of the even bigger news is that they are going to lay off, I think the percentage is like 16% of their staff, totaling around, I've seen different numbers. 870 is what I got from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Laying off 870 employees. And that's just fucking devastating. I mean, that is, for a company that is probably one of the largest in video games, making the most money off of Fortnite, you know, also the purveyors of the Unreal Engine, which let me not say most, but a lot of games are made on, a lot of studios are using now in Hollywood, you know, along with their volumes. It just seems like such a wild thing. And, you know, here we are again where a company's like, oh, we got too big during the pandemic because, you know, we thought everything was just going to go up from there because everybody's at home playing video games now. And we never thought that was going to change for some reason because we're short-sighted. So we hired all these people and now we're going to fire over 800 people, almost 900 people. It's just, what are we fucking doing here? Like, this is...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It really is. Like, how do you believe that your business is going to grow or is at the level of needing these 870 people and then all of a sudden overnight realizing, oh no, we're not going to get any bigger. We're not going to continue at the pace we're going. We need to get rid of all these people. It makes no sense to me.
I don't know. Yeah, like you were saying, like you said, is that it's not that it was going down; it just wasn't growing fast like it was.
Yeah,
it's still growing. So,
I mean, that's the crazy thing, right? Is like this is after them basically saying like, you know, profits have slowed. You know, it's not even that profits have stopped and we're now in, you know, in the negatives. Profits have slowed. So we're not getting as big as fast as we wanted. So we're going to change the lives of 800 plus people.
But 870, like, that's like 870. You think that's probably like close. I mean, I don't know how many people work there, but I mean, just the number itself, though. You think that, man, the company's like they really downsizing because they're not doing that big, they're not doing that well.
They're buying a mall, Dominic, for their fucking studio that they're going to be moving into. Like,
yeah. So then it gets to be like, wait a minute. So why are they laying off there? It's like just to get more profit, I guess. You know, just to get
pay for that mall.
The higher profit. I don't know. Or maybe it's something else we don't know, that they spend money on something that it was too much. They invested in something that was too much, and it's like, oh, we can't afford it.
I mean, they are. That is the one thing. They are a private company, so they're not publicly traded. We don't really have a lot of their numbers that you can, you know, look at for a little more transparency. I've seen a lot of people, you know, making the Iwata argument of like, okay, what is Tim Sweeney doing? Like, why is this man probably still making millions and billions of dollars when he could have taken like a 20% 50% pay cut and, saved all of these people's
the American
jobs.
way.
It is the American way, isn't it? To add, to pour salt in the wound of this, not only is Tim Sweeney and his gang of goons over there, fucking over developers that they hired, they're also fucking over the consumers because they're going to raise the prices of V-Bucks as well, Dominic. So if you're a Fortnite player, get ready to pay some more for your premium content.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. It is crazy. It sucks. It really sucks. And the reason why they don't take a pay cut is because, look, they feel bad about these people who get let go, and the money helps them deal with it.
Dries their tears.
Yes, because if they didn't take the money to deal with let people go, then it would make them even sadder.
Yes.
So
the creator argument, don't we? Yeah. I really don't understand. Like, obviously, I'm not a guy that's operating at the level of a company the size of an Epic or a Facebook or what have you, because we saw similar, cuts around tech. This isn't anything new. We've been talking for weeks now about restructuring and things happening within the video game industry, but
we gotta let people go. We gotta let people go here.
Exactly. It's only down to 2 of us now, Dominic.
Yeah.
But like Embracer Group, you see the failure there. Like you see the mistakes that they made. The mistake was they thought they had funding, or they did have funding. They bought up a whole bunch of studios. They were going to make all these sorts of games that were going to be AAA titles. And then, that was on a razor thin line. They lost some funding and everything crumbled. One game came out. It was not good. But when you're looking at Epic, who has deals with Tencent and is running their own game store, which is probably part of the reason that they're having to lay these people off, because we've talked about this in the past. And, the Epic store, I don't really care. It's not a big difference between that and Steam for me. Like, I don't give a shit. If a game is cheaper on the Epic store that I want, I'll pick it up there. It's not.
You're the problem,
me.
Daniel.
Yeah,
you're the problem.
No, I am the problem, because otherwise what I do, because I bought maybe like 5-10 games max, and that's max on the Epic store. But what I do is whenever the little pop-up that says there's a free game that's on there, I download that, and then I never play it, but I do download it, and they are spending a lot of money to get these developers and publishers to give them those games to give away for free, to try and lure people over to their store. And that just is not catching on. So if there's one gigantic failure of Epic, it probably is that. Part of this story is, it seems like Mediatonic, the development team behind Fall Guys, the original story was basically that they had gotten shuttered, which was just absolutely shocking to me, because that's still a game that seemingly is pretty actively played. I mean,
I see it on Twitch.
When I walked out there to use the bathroom before we started recording, my wife and daughter were playing Fall Guys on the Switch. It sounds like that did not happen, but it sounds like there were pretty significant cuts from that team, which that surprises me a little less. I mean, that's a game that you do need people working on because they need to upkeep it. They need to come out with new skins, stuff like that. But at the same time is not the size of a Fortnite. I don't expect there to be a ton of growth in there. And I don't know what that team does next, if they were or are actively working on a next project, or if that team solely exists to continue to farm, more content for that game until it eventually gets sunsetted. But that's what is crazy to me is like, okay, you have Fortnite, you're making money hand over fist. You're making these deals with everybody. You've got the money. You don't have work for these people. Like, what does your future look like? What is the next game? Like, you can't just be thinking you're gonna coast on Fortnite for the rest of your life. So, like, what's next? What's Fortnite 2? You know what it?
Well, you know what, they probably. I mean, I think they can coast on Fortnite for still a while, but they'll just be cutting. They'll just be cutting more people. You know, it's just that people who go there, like you said. So what? You call these people. So what? Yeah. What's the plan? So what's the plan?
I mean, what was it when you hired all these people, and why is that changed? I guess is the question that.
Yeah. What has changed? Yeah. What has changed? Like
and that goes for not just Epic, but all of these fucking places. Is it just your blatant stupidity? Like all these people who went, oh, okay, people are playing video games in record numbers because they're stuck at home due to a pandemic. Did no one think that eventually the pandemic would stop or lessen so that people could go out in the world again and not be stuck at home playing video games? Like, if that's the case, then Jesus Christ, these people are even stupider than we thought they were. And they should not be running businesses the sizes that they are. Like that's where the disconnect is for me. That like people that are at these levels, and the argument that, you know, they should be getting paid this much is because they're the smartest people in the rooms, and the, you know, meritocracy that clearly does not exist, at least in this country. You know, we treat the rich like they have some more knowledge than the rest of us do, when in reality, like a lot of times they fucking fail their way to the top, and then they get there and they continue to fail, and then the people below them have to be, you know, hurt by it. You know, it's and this just being like the prime example of that is just so fucking aggravating.
Well, I think it was something. Was it Will Wright? Because I think he does something on business, and I mean, I'm loosely speaking on it, but it was something he said that kind of made me think about the gaming business. Is that like how a lot of the gaming, like because back in the day it was always just a few guys who did something, who made something like in a game, so you didn't have a whole lot of people under them, but those guys became bigger. And then they became the bosses, but they're not really real businessmen. They know how to do it, but they don't know how to run a business. And that's the kind of crux of it, is that sometimes we argue is like on the business side of things. Some people say like, oh, these people the business people just worrying about the money, so they're not knowing about games. They just care about how much money was being made and blah blah blah. But then again, you have on the other side is that, have gamers that you have people who actually make the games be top guys, but they're not real business people though.
Right.
So,
and they don't know how to manage money or budgets or projects or right.
And the thing is when I guess it's good when you have the kind of mixture, you know, of that. If you have somebody who maybe is just the business guy, but then have the person who's also the lead who knows games, and then they can work together on that.
The biz dev guys.
But it's just I think sometimes maybe that could be the problem too. Some of the lead, like if I look at the leads, like look what they have done, like or like what school they went to, or like what degrees they got, like how did they get to the positions they are. Were they just developers? Like how did they where did they go to learn to run a business? Right. How did they learn to run a business? And because then you'll probably find out some things that like you'll probably put the puzzle together like, oh, they didn't really know how to run a business. They were the developers, but they got so big. I mean, everything seemed good to run nicely at a time, but then, you know, things start slowing down, and then shit don't go right. Yeah. And then they things like this probably happen when Tony layoff, where they probably should have never been in a point where they hired so many people.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, they should maybe they shouldn't even hired this many people to do that, because now you say 807 people, Daniel. I'm thinking that how many people did Dern, like, how many people does it take to run Fortnite then? Did you didn't need this many people then? It's like, what were they doing?
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
what did you have them doing?
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, did they just realize, oh, these guys are just sitting on Reddit all day, like looking at posts? Like, I mean, when you get to a point where like almost 900 jobs is only 16% of your staff, maybe there is some, oversight issues there. But again, that's not their fault. That's on you. You're the one that chose to hire them. And if they're getting away with fucking sitting on Reddit all day or doing whatever, like, yeah, at a certain point, you got to look at yourselves. And that's not to say, okay, you take a pay cut and they can never be fired. But like, when it's like 870 people, 900 people, 800 people, whatever the number may actually be, it's maybe time to start looking in the mirror, right? Like, it's really time to reevaluate yourself. And to your point, like Tim Sweeney, right, he's a programmer. He's not necessarily a business guy, and he's found himself in that role now, and what have you. But if that company is still making a profit, and he's getting bonuses, or he's getting his full salary of, let's say, hundreds of thousands of dollars, on the low estimates, probably, like, maybe it's time to look in that mirror and make an Iwata style, sacrifice to a couple of years of your pay to ensure that the company is not, doesn't become trash. Because the 3DS very much could have hurt Nintendo, in a way. And they turned it around, lowering prices, not getting rid of a ton of people at their company. They were able to come out of that. And even after the Wii U, fucking ate that and came back with the Switch, and there you go. But like, you got to have a plan for the future. And when you look at cuts like this, it makes me wonder if you actually have any plan for the future. I mean, I've been at smaller companies that have lost smaller people, that have, smaller amounts of people, and it made me doubt, what the future of that company was. Because if you're talking about laying off a certain percentage of your staff, that indicates to me that you have no plans to refill those positions anytime soon, which means you think you're going to be able to operate on a much smaller staff, which means you don't think you're going to be getting as much work or sales or what have you as you were when you could support that amount of people. Or you're just going to try and work the people that are still around that much harder to make up for however many people that you lost. So I don't know. I really wonder what this means for Epic as a company, because right now it puts a lot of question marks in my head as far as I'm concerned. So, all right, Dominic, there's one last story I have here following the end of the WGA writers' strike in Hollywood. Shortly before I think that was announced, actually, SAG-AFTRA union members actually voted yes to authorize a potential strike against video game companies.
They heard me. They heard what I said about I'm okay with AI in video games.
Yep, you got too cocky, Dominic. You got too cocky.
I really did.
Yeah, companies including Activision's, Disney, EA, Insomniac, Epic, and Take-Two Productions, and Warner Brothers. So, unfortunately, they did not do this ahead of Megan Fox being used in Mortal Kombat. But here we are. It's I can't help but tie these two stories together, because here you see, well, you don't quite yet. They are not on strike yet. It's basically described now as kind of a leverage tactic. This enables the union leaders to go and have these discussions with these companies and say, hey, if you aren't willing to negotiate with us, we've already got the yes from everybody that we can just say, all right, we're going on strike. We're not going to be doing any work for you guys. And that's important from the labor side of things, to have that kind of leverage, even if they don't need to necessarily flex it. If we don't get to a point where there are actually strikes happening, but if they were able to use that leverage to get what they want or what they need, what they feel they need, which includes, things like wage increases, inflation, as a result of inflation, protections there's a lot of talk of like performance capture now, where it's like, okay, you're having me do a lot more than just use my voice, but also there's things about like you're having me yell all day, like that hurts my vocal cords and can put my career in jeopardy. I should be paid more for that kind of stuff. So now we're starting to see that, and that's, to me, it seems like the direction that we've talked about this in the past, that developers need to be moving in some form of collective bargaining, so that when something like this arises, you can say, no, you're not going to lay off 870 people. This is what's going to happen. You're going to make less money, because who cares about you at the end of the day? You're a gigantic company. You will make money back as long as you continue to pay us, the creators of the things that you were trying to sell and market. So yeah, I don't want to see a strike in video games, because I want my video games to come out and I want them to have quality voice acting. But I also want the people that are doing that work to get paid appropriately. And exactly. Like you said, I have no problem. And I don't remember if we talked about this off air or on the podcast, but like the idea of being able to have a game that wouldn't necessarily have voice acting in it, and implementing voice acting, whether it be the level of like, here's a Google Translate voice, just because either I have an accessibility issue where I can't, read the stuff, or I'm just lazy and I would like this to be read to me, whether it's that, or if you go a step further and create these AI, recreations of people's performances or whatever, and have them, read the quick brown fox jumps over the whatever, one of those sentences where it has all the syllables, and then the AI can basically have you recreate whatever, it's getting to a point where it's convincing. I mean, you and I have talked about, there's like that stupid thing on Twitch where it's like Biden-Trump debates, and it's just AI voices of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and they're like reacting to things in the chat, and it's borderline convincing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's like, oh my God, that's what Donald Trump said. There's no way that he didn't say it. But at the same time, it's good enough, right? So
yeah, exactly. And it could be better, because that's probably not even the best quality.
Oh, absolutely. That's just some guy on Twitch. So the idea that you could have, just worlds that you build and have, Epic's got this technology in Unreal where you can basically generate freaking faces, add some generated voices on top of that, and, do whatever. But the basis is that the people that those voices are created from, because they're not just being pulled out of thin air, need to be compensated for that work in some way, shape, or form that meets their requirements. And, that's the point that they need to get to. And if that's going to take a strike, then, that's what's going to have to happen. And
yeah, we just got to play Nintendo games because they don't have voice acting.
Exactly. Nintendo's had a plan the entire time, Dominic. Like they know the future. I'm pretty sure Miyamoto is just a guy that has come back from the future and is rewriting Nintendo's timeline or some shit. Yeah. So that's what I got for the news this week. You have any thoughts on any of these things more than we've discussed?
So the writer's strike is over. So is the writer's strike is over?
Writer's strike is over. I believe the actors are still on strike.
Yeah, I was about to say the actors are still on. Yeah. Did they get it? I wonder if they got a good deal. The writers.
I was watching. There's I don't know what his name is. It's Adam something. He used to do a show, Adam Ruins Everything, and he would talk about different topics. I saw him on a Twitch broadcast, and he was talking about the deal that they got, and he seemed pretty positive about the negotiations that occurred. So it seems pretty positive. There was even a spreadsheet that he had of like, this is what we asked for at the time before we struck. This is what they had advised that they would give us, which was nothing, and this is what we got out of it, which is more than that. So it seems pretty positive. I haven't dug in depth into that, so I'm not totally sure, but I would like to think that if they are ending the strike, it is because their needs have been met.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I hope so. I bet demands would be like, hey, can there be more black shows out there? I bet there's no demands of that.
Probably not, unfortunately. No, that if anything, it's probably just like generalized, more minorities.
Hell yeah. And which that means we're fucked. That's all I'm gonna say. I had other notes on that.
All right, Dominic, we'll run down these new releases real quick. Then we got the Tasmanian Tiger 4 Bush Rescue Returns.
Is this a remaster or this is a whole new game?
I believe this is a whole new game. This is a side-scrolling one, though. That's out on Nintendo Switch. I saw it was also on Steam.
Was there a side-scrolling one on like a Game Boy Advance or anything?
I totally do not know, Dominic. This is a game that I am more familiar with as a joke than as a viable product. It always seemed like, oh, that game's probably fine.
This is Bush Rescue, like President Bush or something.
Yes.
Oh, what it is?
Yeah. But not the younger one either, the older one. Trying to save him from the afterlife. But yeah. So on Steam, it has a mostly positive tilt. So it might actually be all right. It kind of reminds me of the Ukulele 2D platformer that I played. So it could be all right. We also have this is kind of a big one, Dominic. Counter-Strike 2.
Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah.
All right. So it was just called Counter-Strike?
Yes.
There's
Counter-Strike, and then there was Global Offensive.
I thought that was called Counter-Strike 2 for the longest.
Nah. Nope, there was never a Counter-Strike 2.
There was never Yeah, so that was the only 2 that wasn't available from Valve, so that they finally got a 2.
Yep, they finally got a 2.
Okay. So they caught up with Half-Life, and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep.
And what other game they make? Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress. Oh, Jesus, yeah, Team Fortress 2. Man. Yeah.
They finally got Counter-Strike 2. Yeah.
So now that they're caught up, now we can move on to 3s, Dominic. This was the last piece of the puzzle.
How was this rated?
Portal 2. I actually haven't been able to find any ratings yet. It is.
I know one guy. Oh, okay. I know one guy on Twitter. I forgot. He used to be. I don't know if he still is. He used to be with IGN.
Okay.
He said, like, he was saying what he think the top 10 is going to be, like, everybody's top 10. Like, he was just saying overall.
Like Game of the Year stuff?
He had Counter-Strike 2 up there as one of a possibility. like that. Not that was his personal top 5, but what he think
Yeah.
is like just the overall like media kind of feeling on games. He didn't have Starfield.
Don't believe that.
He didn't have Starfield at all.
Yeah.
He
Starfield's a weird one.
Because I mean, I think he likes Starfield, but he's just saying that it's just based on the media that he thinks is just not going to be up there.
Exactly.
For most people.
It's one of those things that I feel like because it was a game that everybody assumed was going to be part of the conversation, I think still gets talked about a lot, but I don't know that it gets. I feel like it's going to be on the low end of top 10 lists where it appears, but I would not be surprised if it still appears in quite a few top 10 lists of big sites. Now, Counter-Strike 2, kind of completely opposite to that. I would be extremely shocked for that to appear in a large majority of large site.
Why is that?
Because it's such a niche thing that unless the people on that site are into competitive shooters on that scale, I just don't think it's going to come up. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a game that a large portion of quote unquote gamers are going to be playing, despite the name cachet. And in addition to that, the way it's being review bombed basically on Steam right now, I don't think I don't know how review scores are going to show. I mean, I guess that's kind of to my point, right? Is this game released earlier this week, and it was kind of a surprise drop. So I'm sure like these reviewers didn't have early access codes or anything, but I'm not seeing any like reviews in progress or anything like that. Like I'm not seeing this treated as a big thing. So therefore I don't expect it to be treated that way when we get to Game of the Year discussions either, especially when we have, you know, I'm trying to think like if I could fill out a top 10 and not of like games I played, but of games that have been released and discussed this year. But like top 2 are easy, I think. You know, it's going to be Zelda, it's going to be Baldur's Gate. What we see after that,
whatever. Like I said, I can see Spider-Man being top 10 just because.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be honest with you, I'm a little. That'll be disappointing because that means there wasn't that many other good games then. because Spider-Man is. I mean, I know I'm not saying it's not a bad. It's just that
it's a known quantity.
It's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's going to be. It's not nothing special. I'll be surprised.
But we did see something
really
similar
special
a couple of years ago with God of War Ragnarok, right? Is like
that was disappointing. Good. And that was disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm glad it didn't get as many Game of the Year stuff, and like it definitely didn't get nowhere near the first one did, and the first one wanted to get something big too. But yeah, it didn't deserve it because of that. It wasn't much of a change. I mean, it's still a great game. It's just that it's more of a just a continuation. It's almost like a season 2, not a 2.
Right. So
which is not a bad thing. I mean, of course, what I'm saying is negative, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing. Just like Starfield. Starfield probably won't get a top 10. Probably won't top 10. But it'll probably still be one of the best-selling games this year.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
And a lot of people enjoyed it. So as much as it's not a top 10, I mean, and it's probably, I mean, for me personally it will be because, I mean, compared to what games I played.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't really like Zelda as much as other people, like nowhere near as other people. So I'm going to like a lot of things better than Zelda. So that not just for me to say that Starfield's better than Zelda is say nothing. I don't what's the what other game came out? Baldur's Gate. I didn't play enough of that to really just maybe it would be on my top 10. But I didn't play enough of that to really get a good feel of what that is. I mean, like to justify to be a top 10. But I can see it being there. Is it better than Starfield? Only reason I wouldn't put it best because it is too hardcore. That's it. That's really it, and that's not its fault. That's the game it wants to be. It's just the ease of access of getting to Starfield to me than getting to Baldur's Gate. But the other games, like what other game is out or comes out? I mean, you got the Wonder Mario, which for me personally, I mean, I can just say it right now. I like that game, but I'm not. It will only be top 10 because I had nothing else to put up there.
Right.
Like that's how I feel about those Mario games. Like they're great. They're great games, but they will be my top game because I couldn't put anything else up there. Yeah. I can't think of any other game.
I think
like
Alan Wake 2 is going to be an interesting one to see how that shakes out. All the
we
buzz
gotta
I've
see
seen
how that is
positive. Yeah. Armored Core I could see being on a lot of, games media lists.
Yeah, that could be.
Resident Evil 4, the remake.
Too.
Dead Space might fit in there. I feel like that would probably end up being lucky. Jedi Survivor, I feel like that one's not talked about
sorry.
nearly as much.
He put Counter-Strike 2 as I'm not sure where they'll land. That's what he said.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure where they'll land. He said a bit of controversy today, but maybe the biggest thing to release viewership-wise in 2023, because it is top on Twitch. Yeah, he said he didn't know that he has Alan Wake 2 on where he doesn't know where it lands. Yeah. He doesn't know where Street Fighter 6 or Mortal Kombat 1 lands. And he doesn't know where Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty lands.
I mean, does that land at all? Is that in the conversation?
Just the people I see talk on Twitter, I've heard good things about.
Oh, no, I don't mean, I too have seen mostly positive things about that. Like all the talk around Cyberpunk has been extremely positive, which is awesome. I'm glad that game.
I can see it landing then. I can see that landing.
I just wonder if because it's an expansion pack, like is that something?
Oh, not
considered
Witcher 1. Witcher 1 game of the year.
Okay.
Expansion.
Gotcha. Okay, then I could definitely see that on lists. Depending on the site, you could maybe see Hogwarts Legacy on some lists.
Yeah, he said
some other ones.
He thinks on expanded list that he thinks that'll be up there.
Yeah.
He said it'll just get a bump for controversy.
Yeah. Final Fantasy, that's another one that I feel like is going to be on the list.
Oh,
People
yeah, he
are
has
kind of
that
mixed
too. He has
on.
that actually in his top. That's definite.
Oh, okay.
And I think it will too. I think it'll be definite for some people, while other people will be like, it's not a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much mixed feeling around that game.
I mean, the thing is, it could be somebody who has it on top of their list and saying it's a good game. It's not it doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy, but it's a good game.
Yeah.
While other people, they will use it as like a negative, where it says like it's not a Final Fantasy game, and no, it's not that good a game. Diablo 4, that's a mixer because it started out good and then it went bad. Because of the fall off from I guess the after the first playthrough or something like that.
Yeah, basically the end game stuff and then the first season of stuff. I think people were kind of on, and that's I could see that on the list. It would definitely be 5 and below kind of fodder there. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot to fill out a list this year. It's just where those things end up.
Some people say it's one of the best years, even though I'm sorry, nothing's beating 2007 and nothing's beating 2001. I'm sorry, you ain't getting that. You ain't beating 2007, 2001. Yeah. Only people who was alive can speak on this. If you were not alive or you were just a baby on those years, you can't talk on it. Just like I don't speak. If somebody wants to argue me that Bill Russell's the best basketball player, I'm not going to argue with them. I'm just going to say okay, because I did not watch Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Even though I still think Michael Jordan's better. But yeah, I so far, I'm looking at this year, it's a good year overall, This ain't no 2007. This ain't no year where BioShock, Mass Effect, Halo 3, Call of Duty, Warfare, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare,
Portal.
I just think those games, and there's some more games. I just can't think of them right now.
Heavenly Sword.
Shut up. Ain't no way it's beating that. And then in 2001, you had Final Fantasy X, Metal Gear Solid, Jak and Daxter. You had Halo came out. You had Smash Brothers. You had did I say Metal Gear Solid 2 already?
I think you did. Did you say Grand Theft Auto 3?
No, I didn't say Grand Theft Auto yet. Grand Theft Auto 3.
SSX Tricky. Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. Oh, Gran Turismo 3. I mean, God. I mean,
Silent Hill 2.
No car game looked this good as that game.
Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Yeah.
Castlevania: Circle of the Moon.
Yeah, this is a good year in the modern era.
Depth.
This is a
Phoenix
good year
Wright,
in the,
Ace Attorney. Ever heard of it?
Like
Tony Hawk Pro
Skater 3? That came in America though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. So that. Yeah. No. Nah. Because we didn't get it till we got the DS, right?
The DS version. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Minnesota looks just like we look just like Minnesota. The Washington team, like their colors and stuff. Yeah. This is a good year compared to recent years. Like maybe some recent years. Maybe you compare a decade. Maybe you go back.
This is amazing compared to the year where Shadow of Mordor was the best game of the year.
That was a awful year.
Exactly.
I mean, it was really. I mean, I was okay, but as far as
the game was still quite enjoyable, but for it to be the top game,
like that was the best game. It was like either that or Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like best art. That wasn't some people's game of the year, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
But then I go back, I was like, man, this wouldn't beat a lot of games. It wasn't great. It was better than 2, but it wasn't like top 10 great. I didn't think it was, but then I looked at that year. It's like, yeah, I guess it is better than those.
Yeah.
Thank God Richard didn't come out. Thank God it came out before Richard, because Richard 3 would have fucking destroyed it. Like, it would have made it so that even if it was that year that Richard 3 came out, that would have got top just because they would have been compared to Richard 3 and would have got 7.
All right, Dominic, let's finish off this new release list. We got Paper Beast Enhanced Edition. That's out on PS5 now. Roblox is out on Quest 2.
Oh, they got that good kind of paper then.
Yeah. It's got the origami paper, that really nice stuff.
I downloaded this. Not Roblox. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did?
On the Quest 2? Oh, so you can play that on the Quest 2 Roblox?
Yep. You can play Roblox on the Quest 2 now.
Is it free to play?
I don't know about that. I thought Roblox in general was, so let's see. Quest 2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You can play with all those kids, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just a get on the...
I can build me a ice cream truck or a candy truck or something and say, hey, kids, come on. Let's all get in.
And every time you get in, you pay me money. All right, next up, Disney Speedstorm. That's now out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series. That's the Mario Kart meets Disney.
I downloaded
Sonic
that.
Transform.
That's what I downloaded.
Okay,
I just haven't played it. I just haven't played it yet.
Gotcha. All right, we also have Cocoon, which I mentioned earlier, now out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5.
Not based on the movie.
Not based on the movie. Nope. Xbox One.
A bunch of cocoons in the pool.
Old people who are somehow younger than Tom Cruise, as that meme was like 5 years ago, which means they're even younger than Tom Cruise now. And then EA Sports FC, Dominic, that's football club for you Americans. 24.
Is this the first football club?
This is the first football club. FIFA has gotten delisted, so
that's what some people wanted the Washington team to change their name to.
The football club. That would have been awful, Dominic. I'm sorry. Like, You don't want your football team confused with a footy team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just silly. That'd be silly. And that is out on PC.
No, it is to be
Switch.
club football. That's what it is.
There you go. Club football. Where you just club people with football. So yeah, that they made that change now, and they've delisted that previous year's game. And yeah, it's time to move on, Dominic. We don't want anything to do with FIFA and their wonky politics, it seems like. So
In FIFA, there's something going on with that woman who with that unwanted kiss happened. I know the guy got let go, but it seemed like she got let go by the team.
Oh,
but she got let go by the team. So I meant to. I keep forgetting. I mean, now that reminds me, I want to look that up and see why that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I know I saw a comment mentioned that she said nothing has changed, something like that. So I'm wondering, like, yeah, what happened?
Yeah, crazy. All right, got anything else for the podcast, Dominic?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, thank you guys as always for listening. Check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. Has all of our previous podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you might find a audio podcast. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.